Hello everybody, welcome back to a different video. This is a discussion video, and I want to talk about why 1.14, the next update for Java Edition, should be a cave update, and why that would benefit the game and people in general. Well, for a start, for the longest time now, the rarest ore has been Emerald, and that was added over 3 years ago. I think it's 4 years at the very least. It was added far too long ago, and basically, it's Minecraft. Half the game, supposedly simplifying it, is about mining. But once you've gone mining and got 30 or so diamonds, you're pretty much set. You might need to go back down again for a bit more iron, but once you've got enough diamonds, you can make iron farms, gold farms. There's not really any need for mining. But if they were to make it a cave update, which is highly suggestive by the blocks said in 1.13, the cave air and void air, along with normal air. With these blocks being added, it's highly suggestive that they are planning on doing some kind of cave overhaul. They wouldn't even need to change all the caves, they could just add in new types. One of the biggest, more obvious suggestions for new types of caves would be the biome dependent ones. You could have jungle biomes, jungle biome cave things, where underground it's all lush, full of grass, leaves. Maybe there's some vines coming from the ceiling. You could have damp caves and wet caves which spawn under oceans or close to the surface in swamps with like mossy stone blocks, not mossy cobblestone, moss stone. As well as mushroom biome caves which only spawn under the mushroom islands and spawn with mini mushrooms and like big mushrooms. The mushroom blocks on the floor and stuff, and maybe mycelium is found on the floor of this cave, or maybe even some stone covered in mycelium. That might be quite interesting. But yeah, those are the obvious changes they could do. In terms of cave mechanics and from a technical standpoint, they could add something like an air meter, or maybe a temperature thing. Now, without making it too complicated, I'm not a game developer, I wouldn't know how to do this, or how to make it simple. But they wouldn't have to make it too complicated. They wouldn't make it so you literally suffocate when you have no air. Maybe if you're in a cave for over 2 real-time hours, then you get a really low level of blindness or nausea or something, because you're sort of running out of air. But it'd be a low level. It'd just be like, oh yeah, reminder, go up to the surface or find somewhere with air access. It'd be low or something, but that's just an idea I've come up with now. They could easily add things like new blocks, maybe, well, like I've said, moss stone, mycelium stone. They could add something like stalagmites and stalactites. That might be an interesting addition to add, since the best option now would be cobblestone walls. And along with the cave update, they could include more stone material blocks, not more things like andesite and diorite and granite, but make it so you can craft walls out of the polished version of those, or smooth stone walls, like there are cobblestone walls or sandstone walls. Add all these additions in that make a lot of sense and wouldn't be out of place in the game. These things wouldn't be hard to do. But if we look at where Minecraft is now and what obviously needs to be improved, the biggest thing for the longest time were oceans. Obvious, it was sand or gravel, just water for miles and miles. This was sort of combated in 1.8, where they added the ocean monument, a rare find, which was good, but it didn't really solve all of the problems. But 1.13, in adding seagrass, ocean ruins, shipwrecks, etc., kelp, coral reefs, all these additions make exploring the ocean next to biomes, or the ocean in general, fun. I play on an SMP server, if you're not familiar, and I just recently resetted for 1.13, and I often get the urge to get in a boat and go out exploring. I live near an iceberg biome, but I don't have any coral reefs near me, so one of the big things I do is go out looking for a coral reef, because that would be a fun thing to find. Whereas I would never have been able to do something like that before 1.13, because I just had no motivation to get into a boat and explore the ocean. unless they get to from point A to B. And the big thing now they need to improve is caves. They've got the overground biome, all the different biomes. They're simple, small improvements here and now. The odd block change, so just coarse dirt back in 1.8. But, what else is in the overworld that needs improving? The void? No one goes to the void. Oh yeah, caves. So things have been the same for all of time. If you go into a cave and, exit the cave straight away, go into a different one, you'd barely be able to tell the difference besides the shape, because no two caves are the same. But they're all the same. They've all got the same combination of blocks, the same ore ratios. They could easily make it so that some types of caves, maybe a really rare type of cave spawns with gold or diamonds more commonly, but it would be balanced by the fact it's so rare. Or maybe a cave spawns with a new type of crystal block which you can smash, which you break with that silk touch. It gives you crystal shards, and these things can be crafted up into diamonds or something. Just small changes like that would really change up the game. They have tried this before, crafting things with different new items, with instances such as rabbit hide to leather, but that's not really interesting. People aren't going to kill rabbits so they can get leather. People are going to kill horses or cows, the classic options, and to get their leather. But on the similar vein of ore, if you were to add new types of caves with new blocks, that was the only way to get certain things. That's how you encourage people to use the new features you put into the game. So they could easily add things like, types of caves which have ravines spawn more commonly, or maybe an ice cave, with small thin bits of ice, icicles. That would help. That's how they'd be presented, like ice panes, if you will. But yeah, just small ideas like that would really improve the game. And with mine being literally half of the game's title, you'd think they would have done this by now. It's been a long time. They've consistently added things to the nether and the end, which as well need different types of caves. Nether caves are almost always accidental, and you could easily add different things like, nether caves in which have quartz spawn more commonly, and end caves can have a type of ore only found in the end. That'd be quite interesting. But these places have been consistently updated, whereas caves have stayed more or less the same. Obviously there's been changes, such as emeralds being added, and andesite, granite, diorite, etc. But none of these are really that interesting. If I need andesite, I go into a cave, I see an andesite vein, mine a couple stacks of andesite, and I leave the cave. It doesn't encourage me to explore. I'm not saying make these stone variants rarer, although please remove diorite, it looks like bird poo. I'm not saying make these rarer, I'm just saying that more incentive to explore the caves should be the case, as it is with oceans now. Oceans now have food source, more mobs, generated structures, all these features. Food source that, when crafted into a block, doubles as a fuel source. All these features add up to make great explorative, opportunities. Whereas caves don't really offer that. Most things you can make a farm out of, or are easy to get. Coal, easy to get, commonly found in mountains. Don't even need to go into a cave properly. Iron, you can make an iron farm moderately easily as soon as you get some rails or a boat. Gold, you can make a gold farm using just some obsidian. Diamonds, once you get about 30 and have a sustainable source of enchantments, that's pretty much all you need. You might go back down for some more, but once you get more than 30 diamonds, it gets a bit boring. There's not really much past that. Emeralds, always fun to get, but once you get villages and breed them up a bit, you can get stacks upon stacks of emerald blocks without even trying really hard. They're too easy to get. Most of these ores are too easy to get. It'd be really interesting if you could get a type of ore or a type of block which you could only get in these caves. You couldn't craft up anywhere else. Like I said, crystal shards might be able to craft into diamonds, But crystal shards could be used to make not armor, but maybe a new type of sword, exclusively a sword that does a bit more damage, but is slower. Not as slow as an axe, but it does more damage, and maybe it's more durable. Since diamond swords, they're durable, but they can run out quite quickly. That might add a new twist on the game, such as the turtle helmet. There's no turtle chestplate, leggings, or boots. There's a turtle helmet, but people still want to get that because it helps them breathe underwater. The advantage to a crystal sword could be the fact that it is more durable, does a bit more damage, but is considerably slower. And that is a still better deal than diamond axe or an iron axe or whatever. There's just a lot of changes they could make to the game to make it more detailed and explorable without ruining it. I think 1.13 really defied expectations with the fact that it added to the oceans and it created new features and made it brand new and interesting and explorable without ruining the feel of the game. It still feels like Minecraft. It still feels smooth enough, yet janky enough to feel like Minecraft, because it has that strange feel that you kind of get from the game. It's not perfect, but it's Minecraft enough, and that's what caves need to be. They shouldn't be perfect builds or real life replicas. They should just be enjoyable to explore, to look around, to find things in. And I think that's where they're lacking now, and that is why 1.14 should be the cave update. Thanks for watching, and I'll probably talk about this in the future. I plan on doing more snapshot videos once the update. I mean, 1.13 just came out. I'm talking about this too soon. But please stick around. Again, if you're not familiar, check out my SMP series. Yeah, there'll be a link to that in the description. If you have enjoyed watching, please leave a like, and I'll see you in the future. Goodbye.